Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pies presser. We're hearing today that the Pies have an interest in a key SWAN forward. It's time to talk all things black and white. Well then, a very good evening to everyone. I hope we're all doing well. I hope we are all coping without some black and white. It is a little bit odd. It is a little bit odd, but we will get some sort of fulfillment this weekend, watching the two teams play off in a Q clash to ultimately figure out who will come up against us for the prelim. So while we don't see black and white footy on this upcoming weekend, we do get to live vicariously through two teams. So that will be nice. Benny, welcome. Josh, welcome. Voidoid, welcome. Mello. How we going, guys? How we going? How we going? Mello, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Why on earth do we want Jack Buller? So maybe some of you have seen the video I posted earlier today. Maybe some of you haven't. Look, in the end, what it says to me more than anything is Collingwood are preparing for the just in case Brody Mihocek doesn't sign that 2-year contract offer. But I mean, geez, I thought it was a 1-year contract for Mihocek. We're hearing it's 2 years at money he isn't interested in taking up. But like you look at the players around him who are taking lesser contracts due to their age, and not necessarily because of their form. Their form, I mean, Scott Pendlebury's form is better than most players for Collingwood this year. Same goes for Sidebottom. Same goes for Jeremy Howe. So ultimately, the question we would ask Brody Mihocek is, what's the difference between you and those other three players who are willing to accept lesser contracts? Now, already I'm thinking in my mind, well, without looking at the chat, some of you might be saying, well, those three players got their bag in their career. Mihocek never got his proverbial bag, a big contract. So while that might be true, that has absolutely no relevance to and serves no favours for the Collingwood Football Club to just offer him a big money offer because we haven't looked after him in the past. Doesn't make sense to me, because if he isn't worth what he thinks he's worth at his age, then maybe that bag is somewhere else. And I must preface these type of streams beforehand because we're in an off week, yeah. And this is in an off week. This is typically the news we have to work with, and we will digress. We will go in different directions tonight. Totally fine, but this at the same time, to be fair, in a week where we do have Pies playing on a weekend, if this comes up in and it's reported by Sammy Edmund or whoever it may be, it will be spoken about. It's news and it pertains to the Collingwood Football Club. So guess what? We're going to look into it and read into every possible avenue that this could lead into. Collingwood is trying to lure out of contract Sydney key forward Jack Buller. Mid-season pickup in 2023, kicked 11 goals from the last 9 games, including an excellent final round performance against West Coast where he kicked 3 goals. The Pies actually have a 2-year contract in front of Brody Mihocek, who won't decide on his future until Collingwood's season ends. Yahoo, we don't have the picks or cash. Do you think anyone in the chat thinks we can still go for a bigger name player? See, so as Lee has just suggested, we probably just don't have the draft capital to give him something. Yes, so we should add that North Melbourne have allegedly offered Brody Mihocek 3 years and Look, Collingwood are playing it smart. They're playing it like a reasonable business operation would. We're not sure if Mihocek's going to stay. We want to inquire about other potential key forwards that we can get for a bag of chips. Jack Buller's contract ends this year. So that means any negotiations would heavily lie in the Jack Buller camp. If he wants to leave, he can leave. And because it's the final year of the contract, there's a lot of leverage in what the other club may have to, or what the other club would have to offer Sydney for the trade to be facilitated, which is why I think a second round pick is reasonable for someone who's only played 10 games of AFL footy. He's 23, 24. So he's sort of served his apprenticeship at the Sydney Swans, which I'm sure Sydney would be disappointed in letting go a player like that, especially given he's played pretty much the whole entire second half of the season for the Swans, where they've gone really well. And in a year where they haven't had Logan McDonald, Marty's had soft tissue injuries, Hayden McLean's like your third in line, they would be spewing, but at the end of the day, he's out of contract. He's gonna go where he pleases, and it's not gonna be for a great deal. I think a second round pick makes sense. I really do. Good point, end times. If Swans get Charlie Curnow, then he's gettable. He's gettable either way. He's out of contract. He has not extended his contract yet. So he's gettable either way. But I can see if the Charlie Curnow domino falls over, then there's a reality, even more of a reality, that he could come to Collingwood. Teresa, I like picking up fringe players cheap, and it's worked plenty for us. Well, I think you think about, if we look at the forward domain, maybe if we can go, what if I do this? Collingwood playing list, draft guru or something, but I'm pretty sure they closed the list. They closed down? Okay, no, they're here. Can I share this? If I refresh this, Safari. Trying to see, if we go, zoom out. All right. I want to see what type of players we have picked up. Is there a draft? AFL, okay. I'm trying to find the draft here. Draft. Anyways, what I'm trying to figure out here are the players we picked up from the draft or mid-season draft. Sorry, more so the mid-season draft or free agency. But you've got, Malcolm Blight. Jacob Blight did a medical at the Pies. Interesting. Why am I not seeing this? Where is this? Refresh. Blight, where are ya? Where is this? It's Jacob Blight from Richmond, right? Who was delisted. If someone can point me towards the article where it's suggested that we have done, or Blight has done a medical with the Pies, I'd be intrigued to see that, because he's one of those very few players, albeit delisted by Richmond. He's one of those key defender players in the market, but he's delisted, that Collingwood must look into, given we didn't secure the services of Jack Silvani. I understand we have Billy Frampton. I understand we have Jeremy Howe for another year. I understand we have Reef McInnes who's coming back from an ACL, but I think we're all on the same page that we do need to bolster our defensive stocks in any which way possible. Okay, let's have a look. AFL.com.au. Let's have a look. Where? AFL app. Latest news. Come on, guys. Come on. What are we saying? Where's his Blight and Collingwood? You guys lying? You guys fooling me, or what's the go? On AFL app with the Saints back. Can't tell if you guys are trying to just kind of troll me here. What's the crack? What are some questions in the chat that we have here? If Fly sees something in him, then I trust him. I mean, Ned Long was picked in the second round of the mid-season draft, if I recall, so barely wanted in the leftover pile. Now look at him. He's done well. Old mate Nettles. So look, Blight has shown some signs for Richmond. I think Richmond do have some really quality key possession depth, which is probably what gave way for Blight in the end. Like, they have players like, regardless of forward line or back line, they've got Tyler Young, they've got Gipgis, they've got forget what the gentleman's name is that got drafted this year, Luke Traynor, they've got Jonty Fall, they've got Thomas Sims, and they've got that other gentleman who played for Sandy, and he did his hammy and was out for the rest of the year. Why don't we go after Nick Vlosten? He just got delisted. Vlosten did not get delisted. He did not. I heard Blight was quite slow, though. Blight, I mean, he might be slow. He's got an endurance tank. It's on the stream. Is it on Gettable? Is that what you're saying? It's on Gettable. Caminiti would be a decent pickup after missing Silvani, but Caminiti is a part of St Kilda's long-term plans, no? Like, he is someone who can swing forward, swing back. He's had some good moments this year. I don't think they'd be letting him go. Okay, so the trade conversations, huh? Gettable says we're interested in Tyler Young as a cheap pickup as well. Okay, so Tyler Young and Jacob Blight. It's all coming out now. I thought, okay, we're in the final series. This time last year, we were linked to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but in this final series, I thought, okay, well, we're probably not going to hear a great deal of this, but we're hearing some of it. Oh, yeah, that's right, Sari Zaza. Thanks for the 5. Just when we thought off-season was going to be quiet, Pies go boom, boom. We want you and you. I know. I was literally just thinking that. We've seen nothing with Collingwood's name attached to free agents and delisted free agency and potential trades, and now we're hearing there's three of them. Maybe because it's the off week. Dad, how are you? My procedure tomorrow 9:15. Okay. I'll call you after this. I'll give you a buzz. All right. MD, welcome. So, I mean, that leaves me with 2 videos to do after this, or a video at least, about Tyler Young and Jacob Blight. So let's have a look at their wheelo. Let's have a look here. So if we go, Tyler Young, I think, was like one of the highest rated defenders in the back half of this year. So that would be a massive acquisition. And I'm pretty sure Richmond are pretty keen on keepies. I thought he was younger. 27 years old. Where did he come through? Did he come through the mid-season draft or something? Where did Tyler Young come from, guys? Tyler Young. So after round 9 didn't play, was he injured? Between round 10 and round 18? A bunch of intercept marks as well. 2, 4, 5, 1, 0, 3, 2, 2. That's impressive. Couple contested marks. 4 contested marks and 5 against West Coast. I mean, it is West Coast, but still. Rookie draft a couple years ago. Okay then. And is this his biggest season to date? Did he do his ACL last year, guys? I know Gipgis was one of the defenders, but he also did his ACL, didn't he? Am I right in thinking that, or no? Maybe I'm wrong. He did his knee. Okay. All right. So that is the player I'm thinking about. Brilliant. Delistings, I anticipate Markov, McRae, Johnson, Sullivan, Jacob Bryant. I have to look at the list again. I'd have to look at the list. I think Markov, McRae, Johnson, maybe Sullivan. Definitely not Jacob Ryan. I'd be very surprised. I'd be very surprised if Jacob Ryan gets delisted. I think he has a big opportunity to find a spot in the side next season. We'll know more then. But I think it would be a little bit premature to delist a Jacob Ryan before next year. I think Sullivan's on. I'm on the fence with Sullivan, Teresa. I'm on the fence. I'd like to see Sullivan rewarded with an extra year, but it all depends. I actually think it's going to come down. It's going to come really late into the off season to find out whether Lockie Sullivan will be a part of the squad next year. I think it's contingent on draft, delisted free agency, and then trade period. So I think there's a few things to go under the bridge before we find out about Lockie Sullivan and whether he plays for Collingwood next year. He's got one more year on his contract to go. Jacob has 1 year on his contract to go. Yes, Bobby. I mean, if Bobby's training, that's a good sign. So let's see. Tyler Young contract. It says someone said he's got 1 more year. He's out of contract. So once again, put him in the same bucket as Jack Buller. This is someone who maybe you're getting a second round pick, maybe a late first rounder. I'm not too sure. I would imagine if we're interested in him and we think we're a chance, then maybe list management think we can get Tyler Young for something in the second round. So, Jacob Bryan has 1 year to go. Yes, I thought Bytel was stiff to get delisted. He was pretty serviceable. So if that's a reference point, yeah, good. I would say Lockie Sullivan is a little bit better than is going a bit better than how Bytel was going last year. But they're not too far off each other. So that's why I have some reservations about where Lockie Sullivan might be at the end of this season. Do I think Bobby is a bit of a risk to bring him in? I mean, like, he hasn't had an extended period away where he's done absolutely nothing fitness-wise. He kicked 4 goals in the VFL. When he played for the VFL against the Dolphins, he looked good. When he played against the Lions for a quarter, he looked good. I think as long as he trains, he plays. He has to. Danny Stav just tuned in. Is this really a good play considering we have Weston Howes waiting? I think the other thing we must factor in, Stav, is Mihocek could be on his way out. So there leaves a hole there. I mean, you just have to take a punt with some other players around the league who are gettable for a cheap price, and their ceiling is unknown. Jack Buller's ceiling is relatively unknown. He's shown promising signs. I think Collingwood are trying to go early on this one and taking not a stab in the dark, but it's more speculative than other acquisitions in times gone by. But you have to take a risk. And he might just be a stopgap for a Ben King. He might just be someone who plays in the case that Charlie West and Noah Howes don't get a good run at it. I think he's a player who can find his way onto our list and we can get him for a second rounder. I think I'd be more than happy with that for sure. Also important to note, as Lee is saying in the chat, Howes only has this year. He's not re-signed yet from the Pies. I think he has. Does he have to get a contract, Noah Howes? I think he's shown good signs. Maybe there's a poll. Would you be surprised if Noah Howes gets delisted at the end of this season? You see, I would be surprised, but then at the same time, I wouldn't. because he is an injury replacement player at this point, which is why we got him. How were able to get him on the list. We put Harvey Harrison and Reef on the long-term injury list. So a player like Noah Howes comes in through that opportunity. Rowan Steele about to sign contract. Good. I'm happy with that. According to Insider Trading AFL website. That's a positive. A lot of news tonight. Fuck. Where was all this on Monday and Tuesday? I mean, I don't mind. It's fine. We'll make it work. But okay. So, we're saying today, Jack Buller, Tyler Young, Jacob Blight medical, Rowan Steele expected to sign. That's good. Danny Stav says, fair point. I think Checkers deserves a longer contract at another club, but we need to start winding down these older players before. I 100% agree, man. I think he deserves a longer contract, but that isn't at the Collingwood Football Club if you're asking for 3 years. 2 years is already on the table. You think that's reasonable? He's asking for 3 at his age. Given our existing age profile, it's just bad business for us if we sign him up there. Yeah, not speaking to I'm confident in whoever we bring in, age demographic needs to balance this side. Well, it's good to hear that, Blight would be young. Jack Buller is relatively young to us compared to us, the rest of our side. Tyler Young's 27. He'll be 28 next year, so that's like he's a year or so younger than a Jack Silvani, if you want to put it into that context. Yeah, I would be, like I said, I would be surprised if Noah Howes gets delisted. I watched him in the VFL. He was clean and good skill. We will cry if he goes to another team and tears it up. I heard he played against Geelong in the scratch match in the back line as well. So they're trying that. What about Elliot? Elliot to Gold Coast is heating up, is it? I think it's just in the background. We're just waiting for the end of the final series so that they can do their business. I think respectfully they're putting it off. It got to a point where they couldn't come to an agreement, so they go, all right, well, for the betterment of this season, late in this season, we're gonna give this little discussion a rest, and we will revisit it once we hopefully have flag number 17 hanging up in the rafters. Benny, thanks for the 5 gifted, brother. Are you in the gym today, Benny? Are you watching this in the gym? Fuck. We up offer to 2 years. Yep, that's right. We currently have a 2-year offer for Brody Mihocek, and 3 years is being offered from North Melbourne. Freddie, mate, welcome. Freddie's in the chat. Freddie Jong is here. Once you have Asian, you can't go back to Caucasian, says Freddie. We love that. Stephanos, we're going to need some 25, 28-year-olds for end of 2026 when most of our 30-plus-year-olds are gone. Yeah, I'd bite back and I'd say I'd like to see play a couple of players in the 23 to 26 age bracket. So give me 2 years leeway. Give me 2 years leeway. Yeah, I agree, Teresa. I think they'll get the Elliot contract done, especially guys. After that qualifying final game from Jamie Elliott, you just have to give him what he's worth now. You have to. You just have to. He's worth it. You think Brody thinks Checkers and Billy are gone? I think Checkers could be gone. I think Billy is not gone. Love Checkers, however, this year's shown he needs to be managed more. So in his second year, what does that look like? Love Checkers, however, this year's shown he needs to be managed more. So in his second year, what does that look like? In his second year, what do you mean? I'm going to assume you're saying if he was to have that 3-year contract extension and he's already being managed in the way that he is this year. Look, typically, generally speaking, Brody Mihocek has stood the test of AFL rigors. And I would say even this year, he always plays battered and bruised, but that's more to do with the way he plays the game. So he's 32. He'll be 33 next year. Since he debuted, like you got it here, right? Debut year, 16 games, 24, 18, 21, 23, 24, 11. Hamstring and a torn chest against Gold Coast was the one that rubbed him out for the rest of the year, and 21 games thus far. So you know what you're going to get with Brody Mihocek if other clubs are coming to the party. Yes, he's 32 going 33, but he will be arguing that his durability should provide solace to anyone trying to secure his services on a 3-year contract, which we can all vouch for. I think the reason why he's always sore is because of the way he plays, and that shouldn't stop aside for signing him one for 3 years if it's like a North Melbourne or a club that just aren't typically a destination club. Elliot is a unicorn, yes. I had a mate talk about Ollie Henry the other day. What's happened to him? He's in the VFL now. Just a VFL player. Heard some gossip. Ollie Henry being told by Geelong to explore option. We would welcome him back to replace Jamie if Jamie left. Ooh, conflicting one. I mean, it's a hypothetical. So maybe we do a poll. That sounds fun. I mean, at his best, he's a great player. Does he have attitude problem, though? Would you take back Ollie Henry? And I'll brackets in case someone comes in late. Fan theory. He would be closer to emulating the game of Jamie Elliott more than a Harvey Harrison or a Will Hayes. Ollie Henry, he must be like 6'2", so they're not similar players, are they, in height, are they? He's 23 as well. He's 189, so he's a lot taller than Jamie Elliott, but can play that forward role. Would we get any decent? Would we get barely any draft compensation for a Brody Mihocek given his age? Nah. For many of those years, he was rookie contract. He deserves a payday whether he plays 24 games the next 4 years. I don't think you don't get paid in the world of AFL or in the world of sport. You don't get a contract based on what you've done for the team. They're basing your contract on what you can do for the team, keeping in mind that this is what they've done up until this point in time. If someone's 22 and they've done a lot for the club and they're playing good footy, they will get a good, long, lucrative contract. If you are 33 next year and you've played good footy for the last 3-4 years, but you are 33, you will not get you probably won't get a long, lucrative contract because of your age. Simple as. We need Treloar back. Nah, that's one player I wouldn't entertain. Love him, but yeah. The answer is no. At the end of the day, Checkers accept those contracts. Just because he got paid unders doesn't mean we owe him anything now. It is what it is. A lot of no's. A lot of no's when it comes to considering taking back Ollie Henry. Interesting. Treloar looking at a 1-year deal with the Dogs. I did see that today. I think I would take back Ollie Henry. I think I would, but I question his attitude. I question his attitude. I question the way he left the club. But if we could right those wrongs and call it a clean slate, because we're all sinners at the end of the day, I would say I would consider it. He's 23. He'll be 24 next year. He's still young, has a lot of talent. How many goals did he kick? Was it 23 where he kicked like 40 goals? Let's see. In 2023, he kicked 43 goals Wait, no, that's Clangers. That's Clangers. Hold on. All right. So in 2023, he kicked 41 goals. In 2024, he kicked 37. And this year, he played 15 games and kicked 14 goals. So he's had a down year. Nah. A lot of you guys just straight no. Won't even entertain it. Gee whiz. Okay. If Ollie can't thrive under Fly or Chris Scott, then I'm not sure what. Oh, good point. Two great coaches. We move on. All right, then. All right, guys. I'll just go and fuck myself then. Okay. Yep. See you later. No worries. Toodaloo. All right. My bad. No, thanks. All right. Hey. Honesty's the best policy here, huh? The reason he's in the VFL is because he doesn't understand the team way. Now, Voidoid speaking facts tonight. That has to be one of the comments of the night. If Ollie can't thrive under Fly or Chris Scott, then I'm not sure who he could thrive under. Two great coaches that do it very differently, and he's been on the outer at both clubs. You know, a lot of you guys, nah, he left us. I'm curious, how many of you guys, both men and women, someone's left you and you've gone back running to them? Just curious, how many, whether it be childhood, adulthood, teenagehood, how many times has someone left you and you've gone back running to them? Come on. We love a comeback story. A fairy tale ending. It's all a part of it. McRae had him in the VFL because he has no defensive game. It's unusual because his brother is such a mainstay and just seems like a completely different person. Wouldn't it be funny if he was forced to go to West Coast and he didn't like going from Melbourne to Geelong? That would be funny. Oh, stop it. Ash Johnson was being picked ahead of Ollie. Bang, Voidoid. Voidoid's on one. Yeah, that's not Collingwood's point of view. Yeah, this is fan theory. So we don't, by the way, we don't actually want Ollie Henry back anyways. It's just, there's murmurs that Ollie Henry is on the periphery he's on the outers of the Geelong Football Club right now. So somebody said, would you take him back? Players will remember how much he sucked when he leave the club. He will need to apologise personally to every supporter. We'll get him on the stream. Won't we? That's funny. Da 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 da. What else have we got, ladies and gentlemen? What are some questions? We have on this Wednesday evening? Ollie Henry has his brother there. He won't go. He has his brother there, but at the end of the day, if you're not playing footy at the level that you want to be playing at, I think you pack up and for more opportunity to play at the level that you want to play at, you go to the very next club. It would be a bit ironic if he left Collingwood because he wanted to be in Geelong, because that's where he's from and that's where his brother's playing, and then he needs to pack his bags and go interstate to play footy. But I don't think, if I had to guess, Ollie Henry is not moving interstate. Like, I don't think that would be an option, given how bullish he was on staying. Pie's keen on Zach Merritt. That's last week's news, isn't it, Mello? Is it not? Is Twitter just going off? I'm hearing Zach Merritt and Hawthorn is more of a real option. I'd only take back ugly. I'd take Ollie. Only ugly Geelong gives us back our pick 25. Yeah, no draft capital. Guys, don't have it. Yep, need points. Yep. Should we keep Mason Cox for the preliminary final? Absolutely, Kev. I think he's done enough. Do you think Mason Cox should play the preliminary final, Kev? I'm pretty confident he's going to play, and I would pick him. What about Marshall from the Saints? He's a good backup and can play forward. Can't afford him. Can't afford him in the context of draft picks Southeast. That's why we're looking in the unders market. We're looking at Buller. We're looking at Young. We're looking at delisted free agent Jacob Blight, who's a mid-season draftee. That's the pool we're swimming in at the moment. Did everyone get their sign up for the grand final ballot in today? Asks Ben. I don't think we can satisfy Bombers to get a done deal for Merritt. Unless we got some sort of crazy exemption to access future first-round picks when we've already blasted through some future first-rounders. I think that's extremely unlikely. They sent me the mail and I live in Perth. It's like Hawks have Piquet and Warple. Yeah. Hawthorn seems like the likely suitor. We ain't getting Merritt. Man, I'm just looking at myself in the camera. I look tired. Finished work, went for a run, got back home, was supposed to do some things around the house, and I fell asleep on the couch. And I still haven't woken up. I don't know. Anyways, that's me. That's a better question. When do the prelim finals tickets go on sale? Well, it sounds like I think it was Tom Morris who just posted a tweet maybe less than an hour ago that Merritt likes the young talent at Essendon. However, he questions whether they will develop quick enough for Merritt to stick around, and because Merritt wants to be in a team that's competing for premierships, he probably doesn't believe that Essendon will get there in the time that Merritt remains at Essendon, if Merritt is to remain at the club. And then he has a desire to go to Hawthorn, and their relationship isn't fractured between club and player at the moment. Josh says, I don't think he plays as MCG, big, wider ground. Defenders can work off him a bit more. The Adelaide Oval being narrow didn't hurt us. That's a fair call, but you can't assume that Mason Cox was selected purely because we're playing on a much narrower ground, being Adelaide Oval. I think he's selected based on the game plan that we went in with, and that is why I think he will continue to play for Collingwood this year. Southeast, will you do a watch along this weekend? I was going to if it was a twilight match, but it's a Saturday night, and I have a close family friend's 34th birthday or something. I lose count, but I won't be able to do the watch along. Yeah, I think AB it's a twilight Saturday game. How can the Saints pay for all this talent they're getting next year? The Saints have been under the salary cap by some margin compared to other clubs in the league. So they have a bit of a war chest. So they're ready to go. Yeah, I know, 34th. Crazy, huh? I know. Funny. Throw dirt at our potential prelim opponents. What else you got for me, guys? Come on, keep them rolling. I'm so sorry. I look so tired. I'm really trying my best because they haven't used all their salary cap for years. They've been saving it up. Exactly. Apparently, we celebrate 34th birthdays, but it was put in the calendar like 6 weeks ago. So I'm a man of commitment. So if I put my hand up and I say yes, I'm going, I go, and that's what will be. Unfortunately, front ending contracts. So pay pay players like maxing nothing next year and heard they may trade Jack Steele to fit all the players in. Quick premature predictor 23. Nah, not yet, Benny. Not yet. No. Not yet. No. You know me, mate. I'm a sucker for a predictor 23. I really am, but not in a week, not a week and a half out. Come on, that's real premature. That's waking up with spunk in your jocks in the middle of the night. Premature. You know what I mean? Think we're a big chance of the grand final? Absolutely. Predict it. Nah. Have we done a poll on the preferred opponent in prelim? We got it right last time, Sonia. We got it right. I've gotten it wrong most times this year anyways. All right. There's the next poll. I'm not sure if we did this, if we've done this week. Who would you prefer? Suns, Lions, don't care. Okay, those three options. I think those are some. I mean, there's two options there, and then the third one is. Let's see. You don't understand the analogy. I know you understand the analogy, mate. I'm not falling. I know you're more switched on than I first thought, Benny, and I'm wise enough now to know that comment is you, implying that you get the analogy. Can apply. I know. We've done well. We've done well to go live 3 nights in a row on a non-playing week. So I appreciate you all being here. This is good. Do you think Mihocek lit McStay in for April in? Do you think AB English, please? Don't put the third option. I think that's fair. There's going to be 3 camps. There's genuinely going to be people who say, I don't mind, I don't care who we play, and there's going to be people who say, no, I really prefer this team rather than the other. Do you think Mihocek lit McStay in for April in AB? Are you okay? Everything okay, Buzz? Hello there, Buzz. Come on. Hopefully the Crows and Gold Coast get it done. Southeast, so you don't want to face the prospect of a Hawthorn in a grand final, judging by that comment. I remember when I was a kid and pies would get into car accidents and fights all the time. McStay trade bait? Nah. What's he going to be worth? You'd be lucky to get a second round pick out of McStay. You may as well just keep him and hope he gets right at some point. Definitely not trade bait. But I like the idea. I like the idea that you're thinking of things Southeast. You know what I mean? I like that you're trying to cook something up here. What does the poll say? It's 43% Suns, 23% Lions, 33% don't care. As of this point, on this Wednesday evening, I think I would prefer Brisbane, Gold Coast. I'm going to go Gold Coast. Only just, though. Only just. Yeah, and if Mihocek leaves, you definitely want someone like McStay to be a part of the side and just settle in on one position next season, whether it be in the back line, whether it be as a forward. Get rid of McStay being in the ruck, let him settle in one position and just hone in on his craft and build his confidence there. He's played in too many different positions this year. It's killed him. We did a similar thing to Billy Frampton 2 years running, really, 2024 and 2023. We messed about with his position, played too many different positions, and then when both players were asked to settle in a position, it was too little, too late. So that's where we're at with the likes of a Dan McStay. I think while he needs to be better than what he has dished out this year, I think we must keep in mind that it's difficult to play 3 different positions in one game. Whoever it is, I just want Gold Coast for extra ticket availability. Fingers crossed, hey, Benny? Antonio, I can't see Hawthorn winning, mate. Adelaide will regroup this week. They're a bloody good side. Have been all year. Yeah, look, it would be a travesty for a side like Adelaide to go out in straight sets this year, but they don't have the experience, whereas Hawthorn have a bit of experience, and they played Port Adelaide in Adelaide Oval last year in that semi-final or whatever it was, and I think they'll take a great deal of experience and confidence knowing that they've been there. They know what to expect in that environment, so it's going to be a cracker. Bo and Checkers won't train till Friday at the earliest. Let them deload their foot problems. Happy with that. Lee, any news on Frampton? We've spoke about him a couple times over the last week or so. I'm surprised he hasn't re-signed, but I'm certain he will get a 2-year contract extension once this season is done. No questions asked. He probably already knows. They say, hey, look, there's a few things we need to sort out with other players. We know who, and then we'll look after you. You're a part of our future. We don't want you going anywhere. You've had an amazing year. You've defied the odds. You've overcome criticisms from every possible angle. You're gonna get what you deserve. Don't care. Justin says, I don't care who we play, but I'd be slightly more concerned about Rowell, Anderson, Humphrey. That's what I was thinking when I said I prefer Lions. I just keep thinking about that midfield battle that we had with them in that interstate game in Gold Coast. I think Noah Anderson just stinks of another type of Nick Dacos. Matt Rowell's a beast. Bailey Humphrey's got Geordie DeGoey potential. Dustin Martin, if you want to go down that route. That Alex Davies guy who we were chasing last season in the off season is having a decent second half to his year after not being cited in the AFL side for the first half. So yeah, I think Gold Coast's midfield scare me more than anything, but I do feel like Brisbane have more quality across the field. But if it becomes a centre bounce game against Gold Coast, it concerns me. However, we didn't have Jordan. I mean, guys, list the players we didn't have when we played Gold Coast last time. Tell me who we didn't have. DeGoey against Gold Coast. I don't think we had Lipinski. Anyone else? Ben Cotton from Fox Footy says, when he joined us on a 4-year contract, if you check his tweets. Ben Cotton. Let's see. Ben Cotton. I mean, I don't know. There's that many Ben Cottons in Twitter, so I don't know. So who was out? Pendles was sub, that's right. Checkers, Lipper, JDG. So different side. It will be at the MCG. It won't be the same game, that's for sure. I think we can all agree to that, right? I thought the Lions are a bit tired and not as sharp against the Cat. They'll need to dig deep against an unpredictable Gold Coast team in finals. Gold Coast smashed them last time they played also. I think they won by like 60 points. So I think they're going to present big issues for us regardless of who we face in the prelim. And that's what you want. You want to beat the best teams that are there. And then when you look back at when you win a flag in any given year, you go, well, we can hang our hat on the fact that we beat quality sides. So I understand that the only thing you really do remember in the long term, when we talk about long-term history, is the year we won the flag and how many flags we have. But I mean, in our lifetime, we'll remember 1990. We'll remember 2023 was against a great Brisbane side. We beat Melbourne, who had just come off the back of a premiership a couple years before that. We beat GWS, a side who have been our bogey side to a certain extent and have knocked us out in a prelim in the past. So you remember those things, so that's important. Pendlebury sub. Yes. Membry was managed, yes, because he had a kid. And Jeremy Howe went down also. Wow. Very different makeup this time going forward. Very different going forward this time. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I thank you all for sticking around tonight. We will be streaming tomorrow. I mean, we just keep rocking up. We keep rocking up. You guys keep rocking up, and we keep talking. So I will keep putting on this stream because I appreciate you all, and yeah, love to chat. So until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, go Pies.